Hey folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our comic for today is Ant Number 1 by Image. Now there is murder, beating, blood, guns, science experiments, bullies, attempted murder, maybe? Yeah, possibly. So, if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright. Now, I will leave the names up here in a photo. Like I said, I will. Be much better just in case. But the story art and coloring are by Erik Larsen here. Which I have heard of him, but I can't recall if he wrote something I know or not. And now, this was also based part on the work of Mario Goli. Well, you'll see his name. It was the character Ant was created by him, and Erik Larsen bought the rights. He bought the character. Also, there's something here called Flats that Mike Torres did, and for the life of me, have no fucking idea what flats means in this comic book, or in the context of a comic book. Someone did the lettering, but what the fuck are the flats? I gotta find out. I wanted to check and I forgot. I'm just trying to think what. Erik Larsen did art coloring. Well, what are flats? Is it a new term for something? I'm still... I don't know. I still have no idea what the hell it means. If any of you know, I'd appreciate if you leave a comment. Anyway, so that's the small team for this one. I saw this, quite a long while back, I think. Yeah, because already a couple of other issues came out of this series. I saw it looked interesting. I think the main reason I picked this up is it made me think of The Tick. And it did look kind of cool, so I was like, you know what, let's buy the first issue and give it a try. Alright, so our story starts with Ant, this lady here, narrating and beating up a few bad guys. Oh, and, I'll get to it later, because I can't really show many pages. But yeah, I'll get to it later. It's just something funny. And yeah, she's narrating, and I guess this first issue is her origin in this version. It's just, I looked it up, and it says in the end of the comic, there's some, the story by Mr. Mario on how Ant was created and everything. As there's 3 volumes from the early 2000s that he wrote and did. And this is now what Erik Larsen's done with the character. So I guess for this, so he decided to make a new series. Because there were many holes and gaps in previous stories. I think there were many crossovers with Ant as well. At least by what it was written. So that's quite interesting. Right, so I guess this would be her somewhat of an origin story in this first issue. Well, anyway, our main character's name is Hanana? It's not Hannah, it's Hanana? I'll write it down here. I'll put it here on screen, I mean. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I think it might be Hanana, but I'm not sure. Her name is Hanana Washington. So we start with her being a little girl. The narration's a little bit confusing though. But anyway, we're during the time where she's a little girl, maybe I don't know, 7, 8, something, maybe younger. Her dad's talking on the phone. Her dad's a scientist, I think. Yeah, some sort of scientist. He's talking on the phone, their lab has problems, they need funding, he's going to talk to this scary guy with the dead blue eyes. And he can't go into too much detail because Hanana's there. And he finishes his phone call with his friend, and the colleague probably. And he goes to Hanana, and she's drawing in her journal, she's drawing Ant, imagining herself as a hero, this hero clad in red. And her dad asks her, why are you all red? And she says, that's my protective shell. That's the outside to protect my inside, like an M&M. And then the dad's like, oh, it's so obvious, it's so obvious. At first I thought it's a bit of a weird dialogue, but it makes sense later. Anyway, he thinks about it. Then we move on to her being in the playground. And this bully, her name's Carrie, this a girl in a beige tutu and glasses, and she's cartoonishly evil, man. I'm serious, cartoonishly evil. She steals Hanana's doll that she got from her mother. And that was the last thing her mom left her, so I guess her mom either left the family or died. One of the two. Now she throws it on the street, Hanana runs after it and gets hit by a car. Then we move on to her being in the hospital, and the narration continues, where has Dad been all this time? So I take it her dad's probably been going as often to the lab as he can. Right, before that, before we move to the hospital, we can see her dad talking to the dead-eyed guy. He's from the government. They fear the Armageddon after 9/11. So they want to get all these scientists that work, all these labs that work individually in isolation to create something that'll ensure the survival of the human race. That must have been desperate for funding in their dad's lab. Or dad's name's Daniel. Yeah, that was weird. I mean, yeah, probably if someone like that makes you an offer, just refuse. So yeah, it starts. So we go back to the hospital. Hanana can't sleep. She was wondering where her dad is. Why isn't he there? Then he arrives, saying, I'm sorry, I should have been there. She's all banged up, poor girl. Oof. And then we skip forward some years. I'm not sure how many, though. Either Hanana's a teenager, though. She looks fully adult here, yeah. But either I think she's a teen, maybe? It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. Anyway, we skip forward some years. We see her father holding a test tube with some red stuff, saying, what his daughter said all those years ago, like an M&M. And his friend and colleague, Carl, he's worried, he's very paranoid that as soon as the government doesn't actually want to help, they just want a weapon, and they're gonna get rid of everyone who's not them. As soon as they make this thing for them, they're gonna be killed off. Hanana's dad laughs it off, calls him paranoid, not to worry, they don't matter to anyone. And then we move, did Dad leave somewhere? No. Anyway, we move on to Hanana walking on the street and finding the body of her dad's friend. Convenient, isn't it? He's just lying there while she's walking, dead. She's like, something's wrong. Oh no, Daddy. No, but seriously, that is a bit too fucking convenient. I mean, sheesh. It might as well put a big sign saying, dead body here. I don't know. It seems a bit much. Although, maybe that's the point. I don't know. Hanana starts to run, something's wrong with Daddy, and then her bully reappears. Her bully who didn't have a costume change. Seriously, she looks the same, bigger, fatter, with boobs, but the same fucking outfit. Come on, Mr. Larson. You drew Hanana a new outfit. You couldn't think of something for this chick? Again, she's a cartoonish bully and all that, but shit, man. Give her something else to wear. Unless that outfit stitched her like skin. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, she's, as I said, cartoonishly, because she grabs it and, you should have died when that car hit you. Sheesh. I mean, that's one murderous little girl. Well, not a little girl anymore, but sheesh. I bet you she's a villain in later issues. I bet you. Anyway, she grabs Hanana and shoves her face into the asphalt, or was it mud? No, it was mud. We go back to the lab. Hanana's dad arrives and he sees that the dead-eyed guy and the other and someone else there, they're taking stuff from the lab. Dead-eyed guy is mad that they haven't gotten any results yet and they just wasted his money and he's gonna take everything. And Hanana's dad, like, we just started animal testing. And dead-eyed guy doesn't give a shit. He says so much. He tells him, you know where the exit is. But Hanana's dad goes to one of the cabinets and grabs something. Dead-eyed guy notices, yells at him, and, hey, what do you have there? But Hanana's dad already left. He arrives home. Hanana's lying beaten up on the couch. I guess Bully Girl didn't finish the job then. Must be saving it for a later kill, which she won't get. Her dad comes to her, hugs her, and she's like, where has he been? The narration continues. She tells him what happened, how Carrie beat her up, and she found his friend dead in the street. And that's where her dad's like, shit, he was right. It wasn't just being paranoid. Fuck. So he grabs Hanana. We have to go. We have to go far, far away. But it's too late. Someone throws a Molotov cocktail through the window. The house starts burning in seconds. And her dad pulls out the vial, which now, or was it in the syringe already? Anyway, pulls out a syringe with the red stuff. And he's like, we're going to start the testing now. He's about to inject himself. But then someone, this is just funny. Like, the killer that was sent to retrieve the vial, he knocks on the door. My man, you threw in a Molotov cocktail. The house is fucking burning. Why the fuck are you knocking? Does it matter? Are you trying to warn them? Or just, what, you just being polite? Well, I'm about to go kill them. I should knock first. Just why? I mean, I'm assuming you knew they were there if you throw in the Molotov cocktail, right? Never mind. After he knocks, he shoots 3 times through the door. I guess he got impatient with the knocking really quickly. Dumbass. And, Hanana's dad gets hit twice. And he falls over, but he grabs Hanana and then he injects her the red stuff in the butt. Well, it was the only convenient area as he was falling. Yeah, they both fall on the ground. Let's call him the killer. The killer gets in, not the killer, the guy from the government, I don't know. He comes in. Hanana starts to go through the transformation slowly. The stuff's going into her. She feels it's all like a dream. She turns and she sees that the guy approaches her dad with a gun. Yeah, and I'm sure he's asking him, where's the vial? Maybe you should have grabbed him first before you shot him. Because, he could have died and then you wouldn't know where the vial is. I'm trying to say is the government should really start hiring smarter people. The government in this universe. Anyway, Hanana's powers start working. She has the red stuff coming out of her head. and she kills the guy, essentially. I know some red stuff flies in his head, and I think it cuts through him, maybe? It's kind of hard to tell exactly what anyway, I think he's dead. Hanana grabs her dad, shoots out of the house. Firemen are out there. She puts her dad on the ground saying he needs help, and then she starts running away. Everything's confusing, I'm sure. Anyway, then we see a panel where she's on the wall in this costume already. Yeah, saying, I'm finally what I wanted to be. Because at the beginning of the comic, she narrates how, someone needs to protect the weak and innocent to make the world right, and it's going to be her. And then it's the next day, it's the morning, she wakes up in the street, and, confused at what happened. Maybe she also has some memory loss as well. And then Dead-Eyed Guy is in front of her, is standing. He calls her name, and he says, your father had an accident, and he's very worried about you. Yeah, you sent someone to kill him, my man. That's no accident. And then he tells her, what was his name? Let me check, I don't want to edit it later. A second. His name is Apollo Steele. Okay, Apollo. And he lies and says he's a friend of her dad's. And that's it. That's how the first issue ends. So that was that. That was the first issue, I mean. And overall, it was pretty interesting, I have to say. Interesting character idea. That still kind of remind me of the Tick. But probably not exactly like that. I'm not even sure how the Tick got his powers now that I think about it. Nah, not the same, of course, either. But yeah, so far the first issue has been interesting. I did order the second one today. I do want to see how this will progress. Overall, it's not bad. It did maybe move a bit too fast in some places. But it is the first issue, and if he's kind of, reintroducing and stuff, I guess it makes sense. There's been a lot of inconsistencies in her history, like how her costume is. Sometimes it's, living and wraps around her body. There's also one time where she would spray it on herself. So, yeah, it's confusing, I suppose. But yeah, overall, if you like the superhero story, the one that has in this case, the scientific chemical that turns you into, gives you powers, I think this is really right up your alley. Though if you don't like violence, because the stuff in here are pretty violent, maybe not for you. But yeah, overall, a pretty good story. Interesting enough to continue. Now let's go to the art. I can't show you too much, though. I can only show you the first 3 pages. I mean, it's not that new, but it's not old enough. So there we go. It's the first opening page. You can see that's by Erik Larsen. And Flying. And okay, look at this one. These are some of her enemies, which I guess we'll meet. At first, I didn't realize what she was saying. She says Randy Dandy. I guess it's this here one. Pussyfoot. Jeez. It's like Catwoman after you smoked some shit and started watching porn. Fuck me. Now we got Yakitop. And check out this dude. His name is Zaf Black. No, but seriously, in Doom 2099 issue 2, there's a panel with something exactly like this. I was like, it would be so cool if someone was walking like that and there was a character. And fuck me, look at this. There is. That is a funny coincidence. Isn't it? Yeah. I just had to mention it. There's Quizmaster. Yeah, there's Quizmaster. Alright, so as you can see, that's the art. The art is fine. really reminds me a lot of Todd McFarlane, and I, I don't like his this sort of art style. It's not as ugly as Todd McFarlane's. In some places, I mean, Todd McFarlane's looked nice in some places too, but mostly it's just the lines. It's just ugh. I just can't. And this sort of has the same thing to it. It's not as bad. I didn't find it as ugly. But I can't say it's that amazing either. But that's just more a question of personal taste. It is well done. I'm really not a fan of this art style. It's a bit too. And I don't know how to describe it. I'll describe it best. It, it's got this ugliness to it. There's all these too many extra details. Like, look at the cover now. This is nice. But what's inside is just, ugh. I don't know. Again, it's just me. I just don't like the art style. That's all. Other than that, it's, it's fine. It's fine for what it is. And so that was, I wish I could show you Hanana. But I don't want to risk it. Again, oh, she does have blue eyes, though. I guess maybe she inherited them from her mom. Oh, I think I can show you these. These are some sketches that were done, see? Oh, look, Ant would spawn. That must be Spawn. I don't know what this character is. Who this character is, I mean. It's pretty cool. Oh, and I'll show you. It has a picture of Mario. Oh, check this out. So yeah, overall, Ant's conception is pretty cool. Mario was in prison for theft, and he saw an ant, I think through the window of his cell. And that's what inspired him. He started the comic as a comic for, everyone in prison. Let me see how... Okay, I hope that's probably too dark, sorry. But if that came out at least somewhat clearly, maybe I'll leave a picture here. This is Mario and his daughter, who was, it was the inspiration for how the character looks. And yeah, you can kind of see it. Now, when you see her, well, not her in a costume, but Hanana inside when she's not in the costume. So yeah, overall, a pretty interesting one. But again, the ages are confusing. I wish I knew how old. I wish I knew how old Hanana is. Cause it's not really clear. She's either a teenager, but I mean, although I'm sure some teenage girls look like that too. But still. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't think she's, an adult completely. She looks like she's maybe 14, 15, maybe. I don't know. Carrie scares me, though. Oof. I don't see her as a villain, because, fuck me. She's got the stuff for it, I'll tell you that. So yeah, overall, like I said, I enjoyed this one. It was interesting, at the very least. Pretty good story. We'll see how it continues. I'm gonna get issue 2 and see from there if I want to continue. See if it'll continue, if it'll be continuously interesting or not. Alright, so that's it. Let me know what you think about this one. Have you read it? Have you heard of it? And yeah, if you like the sort of superhero stuff and combined with violence, I think you'll enjoy this one. It's got some interesting stuff. Again, don't know about the art, but that's personal taste. You might like this kind of art style. To be fair, the only McFarlane I looked at and read is that famous cover of Spider-Man where he's about to take a shit and all the little spiders are running away. Ugh, the art of that was so fucking ugly. Ugh. Yeah. Well, Anyway, again, that's just me. Alright, so that is it. Remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye! And be nice to ants.